This is Jake from KUSA 9 News at 9, and this episode is sponsored by Bad Bunny, providing custom clothes, lingerie, and accessories for badasses. Each item is artist-made start to finish, from the design of the fabric or pattern, to the handmade creation of designs like the dinosaur bone undies, unicorn pasties, teeth print dresses, and a ton more. Bad Bunny is here to fulfill your need for unique, spooky, creepy, sexy, and nerdy handmade fashion. The Bad Bunny herself offered up 5% for you survivors. Just enter the coupon code UNCHOSEN at checkout. Find her shop at etsy.com/shop/badbunnyshop. On Facebook at facebook.com/badbunnyart and on Instagram at badbunnyshop.
This is Paul Sading, creator of Atheist Apocalypse. If you would be so kind, we would really appreciate your support by you going back to your podcatcher and leaving a great rating and review for this podcast to help us be found in the crowd. We stand out, or we like to believe we stand out, but there's nothing like affirmation of the fact that we stand out, and you can help us get that affirmation. Thank you for your support. Thank you for the downloads. Let's get into the episode.
Hi, this is Robert.
And this is Amy.
Of Secular Yakking.
And we survived the apocalypse.
Thanks to me.
No, that would be me, of course.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Definitely me. Welcome to Atheist Apocalypse, a fictional comedy podcast for reason. All of the characters you are about to meet are fictional and do not represent real people. Except when they do. Either way, we welcome you to the show and would like to encourage you to head over to atheistapocalypse.com for more information about the show, as well as details on how you can contribute to help keep the lights on. After all, this is the apocalypse, and we could definitely use all the help we can get. Thank you!
Welcome, fellow believers and residents of the Tri-Counties. I'm Jake Leminski, and accompanying me tonight is the ever-dependable, if hardly ever rational, Beatrice Johnson. Good evening, Beatrice. How are you doing?
Well, I'm becoming numb to your insults, so that's something. Beyond that, I'm doing okay,
That's
Jake.
great,
Thanks.
Beatrice, but we have important things to get to. Like the continuing saga covering the recent trend of unauthorized graffiti being left all over the infrastructure of the Tri-Counties. In our last broadcast, we told you about disrespectful teenagers tagging all of our bridges and overpasses with their filthy graffiti. Well, Sheriff Roger Rogers and his crack staff of demoralized deputies have yet to uncover just who is guilty of this disturbing activity.
Though we're not sure it was teenagers. And also, one could be faulted for claiming the messages of positivity and encouragement are disgusting. The fact remains that these messages are indeed spreading to other types of structures like noise barrier walls and sidewalk art. Someone even tagged the Golden Horn on Pier 13.
Just wait until the MGE finds out about that one. As if they don't have enough on their hands trying to quiet some of their competitors vying to lead us into the future. With this added mess and frustration, I'm sure they'll come down pretty hard on whomever is responsible. Pretty hard. These malicious quote-unquote do-gooders are forcing their thoughts and opinions all over us. Are we supposed to stand idly by while they spread their gospel of positive reinforcement in an obvious attempt to weaken the fabric of a religious community? I say hell no. And fortunately, it appears the MGE agrees with me. Or at least that's how I chose to look at it. Though we still don't have a named candidate for Chancellor Supreme, the MGE has promised assertive action will be taken in response to all this tagging, especially since they've just recently announced their checklist of approved behaviors, on which tagging is not listed. That's right, you little bastards. You won't be getting away with this much longer.
Yeah. Let's give Jake a moment to cool down and take you over to the weather with Max and Andy. Something serious seems to be happening in their department. Otherwise, why would a news channel bring you the weather, or whatever it is they're covering now, so early and so often in their broadcasts? Take it away, guys.
Ugh. Locked out of Facebook again. Every time I post.
Hello, fellow humanoids.
Today, we will be covering mostly Bigfoot lore and how they tie into the alien abductions. Scientists have known for some time that the Sasquatch are alien-human hybrids. They've been with us since the dawn of time. But let's break this down for you listeners. Epic of Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh had a giant hairy companion named Enkidu. He was described as being created of dirt and saliva.
Terra spittle. Terrestrial.
Anyways, Enkidu was created by the mother of creation, aliens, to help Gilgamesh control his arrogance. He was described as wild. He lived outside of society and left no trace that anyone could follow.
Sound familiar?
We would find out later that a benevolent alien race, either the Asgardians or the Tok'ra, but my money is that it was Oma Desla acting alone. Either way, they created Enkidu for the sole purpose of helping humans to defeat the Humbaba, the Terror, beast of the alien species given of Yagdul, or as we know them today, the Greys. The Sasquatch are our last defense against the Greys of Yagdul. They are unseen, because that is where they aid the human race most. We need to stop hunting them down. We're wasting their precious time, and we have to—
Hold on. I was with you for the Gilgamesh stuff, obviously. But did you just name races from Stargate and Star Wars as the prominent alien races doing battle over our planet? Dude, seriously, you're not even gonna mention the evidence that Farscape was based off what actually happened during the moon landing? Sloppy, bro. Just sloppy. Back to you, Beatrice.
Thanks, gentlemen. Well, there has been an interesting twist for hundreds of millions of people around the world, and dare I say, most of the people of the Tri-Counties, as it relates to you and your social media usage. As we continue to understand this new world and our place in it, one of the more frightening realities is the resources we used to have readily available at our fingertips are degrading rapidly or are already non-existent. And now we're getting news that this extends into your online personality.
And what can only be called a victory for underestimation and irony, Facebook has made, at least by what they claim, a difficult decision for the sake of resource management. Because of the dwindling resources and the sporadic dependency of landlines and fiber optic cables, the internet isn't what it used to be, and the old Zuck has decided to reduce Facebook's capabilities for the first time in its history.
Announcing just this afternoon they could no longer handle the amount of electronic traffic, Facebook stated they have developed a new algorithm that will severely impact end users' experiences. From today forward, all unoriginal posts will be automatically blocked. That's right, listeners. If you have nothing new to add to public discourse, your post will be flagged and promptly deleted before it's even posted.
And it's about time. There's nothing I hate more than reposts. We'll have more on this story as it develops, but for now, I'm reveling in the sound of digital silence, as people struggle to construct even one original thought in order to debate whatever pointless topic for the 4 millionth time, or to brag about that vacation they're on that they couldn't afford to take but did anyways, just because. And oh man, the baby pictures. No more baby pictures. People, no one cares about how much your bratty spawn has grown between month 8 and month 9. Now, because in America our entertainment news is more important than the news, we send you off to our new entertainment guy, Edwin Bondshift.
Hi again. Edwin Bondshift here. Your view to the stars. People who were once colleagues before the rapture, separating me from my work indefinitely. Now, not that I'm bitter. Who wouldn't want to do the thing they were born to, then be wrested from it only to report on it from miles away in some hopeless, desperate, aimless part of the country. Anyway, fresh off the presses, Katy Perry, popular singer responsible for songs like Firework and Roar, faced some difficulty when her parents were cornered by Christine Weick, who denounced Miss Perry for her satin. You know, my parents, when I told them I was moving to pursue my acting career, did the same thing. But not everyone has the privilege to support of parents, I guess. No, mine thought acting was the devil's work and wanted me to stay and work in the family store like I did all through high school. A lengthy argument later, and I'm permanently out of the house with clothes on my back and a litany of insults I won't repeat here. Suffice it to say, my parents are not particularly kind to some people. Look out, Selena. Justin Bieber was sighted leaving the One Oak nightclub with none other than Josie Canseco, daughter of Major League Baseball player Jose Canseco. Neither party has, as of yet, commented, nor has Josie's boyfriend, rapper Mike, stood. You know, they know I'm straight. They're the ones who busted me sneaking Cassandra Seagram into my room when we were both a week away from being 18. They weren't kind either, subjecting us both to a lecture on the joys of abstinence before making her break up with me. Anyway, I've gone off topic. Jennifer Lawrence, star of the Hunger Games and Silver Linings Playbook, stepped away from The Rosie Project, a romantic comedy directed by Richard Linklater, a role she had agreed to take a pay cut to portray. When asked why she chose to bow out, she cited frustration with Tom Rothman, who was dragging out negotiations. You know, they tried to come back into my life a few years ago, when I was doing a 6-week stint at the UCB, brushing up on my improv skills and seeing if maybe I could put together a stage show. Roger, my father, had a bit of a heart attack scare and was trying to make things right with God before he passed. It wasn't even about me. He just wanted to secure his place in the afterlife. I told them in no uncertain terms they couldn't just come back after what they'd said, and hung up. Now, would you look at the time? I'm out of it. That's all from what's left of Hollywood from me, Edwin Bondshift, here at KUSA 9 News at 9. Back to you, Jake. I don't even have their number.
Jake, we need to move over to some breaking news out of the Capitol. The MGE has stated they will not be naming their unnamed candidate for office, preferring he stayed unnamed for the time being, but proudly claim he is indeed a God-fearing man, ensuring their candidate doesn't get lost in the crowded marketplace of political candidates vying to run the Tri-Counties in this post-apocalyptic world.
I've got to say, Beatrice, this candidate field is capital C crowded with candidates, all vying for the seat of Chancellor Supreme of the Tri-Counties.
That's not the office up for election.
Tomatoes, B. The field is crowded. The names are irrelevant, and the only thing voters around the Tri-Counties need to worry about is that all 15 of the candidates, representing their respective parties, are God-fearing men. Men of wealth. Men of privilege. So we can all rest our heads that this campaign is going to go swimmingly. Regardless of which party ultimately wins the election, our interests will be preserved.
I literally have had...
The day of sex with Jim Baker, or women, or whatever, is drawing near.
I smell a pancake. Oh, think about it.
55 gallons of milk.
Oh my gosh, that's too...
My socks are black.
The kids call that TMI.
And pancakes are totally delicious.
Well, it's obvious that whoever is listening wasn't interested in what you had to say. So lest you mistake that someone is interested, let's jump into Venice's vibrato.
Hello, my lovelies. I might not have much time to write today, my pets. Horace is just beside himself, and I've had to spend much of the day consoling him. Horace was always a bit of a social media addict, and he said that one reason he came back was that he couldn't deal with the inferior versions of Facebook and Twitter in the spirit realm. He's been happily posting on regular Facebook since he materialized as an apparition, and it's been keeping him relatively content. Well, my lovelies, now that Facebook has banned unoriginal content, it has inadvertently banned Horace completely. Of course, he tried to explain firstly that he wasn't that kind of ghostwriter, and secondly that if he were, it meant that he had all the original ideas, but the mysterious people who run Facebook were not having it. So, Horace has just about gone off the deep end. I told him that he could just make another account and use one of the non-transparent pictures of him before he died, but he's not ready to give up on his account yet. He said he's made a lot of corporeal friends and he wants to keep them. In other news, Cosmea says that she can now see 2 men peering at her through the vortex. But aside from the strange music, she has not been able to make contact as yet. The second man seems a bit weak yet, and kind of ethereal, but she's sure he seems to have a strange white powdery cloud around him. At first, she thought it was an aura, but he kept trying to inhale it, so she knew it had to be something else. So strange. Anyway, my lovelies, I have to go. Horace is wailing like a banshee, and now Anja is howling back at him out of frustration. His little doggy ears are probably overloaded. Until next time, my lovelies, remember that the truth is whatever makes you happy, and reality is whatever we believe it to be. Namaste.
Thank you, Venice. Now let's open the mailbag and see what a listener has to say. Oh, how nice. This is a handwritten letter. There aren't too many of those anymore, but I'm sure as infrastructure continues to break down, we'll be seeing more and more of these. Anyways, the letter writer states, Dear KUSA 9 News at 9, I've seen them again. They're back. Will you please send someone over? Sunrise Peaks. They're still here. Hurry. Signed, Mitzi Carmichael. I'm not exactly sure what Mitzi saw, but we can all make educated guesses that the Tri-County's resident alien conspiracy perpetrator is talking about strange lights again. Mitzi. Dear. You wrote a letter hoping to get an immediate police response. You realize your error there, right? That's about as effective as using hashtag in everyday conversation, or getting men to sign up for a Pinterest account. I mean, come on, Mitzi. You may be old, and stubborn, and crazy, and unattractive, even for someone your age, and... Wait, where was I going with this? Listen, I want to believe. Trust me. But there's no excuse for that level of stupidity.
Jake, are you serious? You can't...
Conversas, Mr. Leminsky.
I don't have to explain myself to... Hey! We're in the middle of a broadcast!
Ladies and gentlemen, Jake has been pulled away by station management, so we're going to shift to the next iteration of Man of International Mystery, because, you know, apparently a woman isn't capable of running the news desk by herself. Off to you, Fabrice.
Bonjour, ma belle. Don't allow the patriarchy of that subculture of America bother you. The world is a much different place outside the three counties. Maybe I'll swing by someday after you get your airport operating again and sweep you off to a life of exotic luxury and fine dining at some of Europe's most romantic locations. I imagine you would like to be spoiled like that, yes? So, the latest urgent situation in the three counties is that Facebook is censoring anyone with a lack of originality, oui? Well, here is my list of things that I'd also like to censor. Numero 5. Every single Disney movie ever, especially Beauty and the Beast. Gaston was the only likable character in that entire movie. Numero 4. Justin Bieber. How did he ever happen? Numero 3. People who form their opinions based on the content of the social media timelines. Oh, of course, number 2. The Kardashians. And number 1, the empty promises of politicians. Now, Beatrice, shall we talk about you and me and...
Thank you, Fabrice. Now that Jake is back, I'm suddenly allowed to cover news stories. So we'll switch gears back over to the status of candidates for office. Apparently, the interest is great. We now hold in our hands reports dating back over the past week showing that hundreds of politicians, including several prominent names, have moved into the area in order to fulfill residency requirements for office.
We're not sure why a seat in the government in the Tri-Counties is so important to so many, but the implications are clear. If you rule the Tri-Counties, you might just rule the country. That's the message that's coming through loud and clear to me as some of America's biggest hitters have purchased homes in the area, and their minions have ensured their names already appear on the ballot. What this will do for the economy and the election remains to be seen, but I can only imagine having scores of wealthy white men moving into the Tri-Counties can only be a good thing for all of us. As we bask in this revelation, let's hand you off to Tyler for sports, who, by no surprise, is doing leaps and bounds better than Artie.
I can't believe you actually complimented Tyler.
Oh, that's not a compliment. If he even remotely comes close to reporting on anything sports-related, he's doing better than Artie. A trained monkey can do better than that relic. My Pop-Pop with dementia can do a better job, and he hasn't been able to find his pants for 3 months. Take it away, monkey.
Yeah, hold up a second, Jake. Yeah, green moped. Small dent on the driver's side front fender. Yeah, that's the one. I'm pointing right at it. Thank you. Here's a Washington for your troubles. Sorry, guys. Welcome to Tyler's Jock Junk. Since I really don't care about sports in any way whatsoever, I found myself at a loss over what to cover. And as there aren't any major events to report on today, I thought it might be a good idea to pop on down to the local racket club. Because sports, right? So when we showed up, Bill and I were almost immediately denied entry. They did not care about our press badges and told us that unless we were members, we had no business being there. So that kind of puts a damper on things at the moment. Oh, hold the phone. We've got a signature MGE vehicle pulling up. Driver's getting out of the car, and now he's noticed us, and scowling under his comically large sunglasses. And now he's rushing into the building. Well, that was weird. I don't think I've ever seen one of these guys so up close, let alone outside of a car. I was starting to think they didn't even have legs. If I had known there were going to be put that phone back on hold. Another black MGE car is pulling up to the port. And another shadowy figure, much like the first, is emerging from it. He's rushing inside as well, but there's also another suited MGE representative exiting from the rear of the vehicle. And another. And another. And another. They just keep coming out of the car one by one. I count 10 men in black suits with gigantic sunglasses on that just stepped out of what looks like a Lincoln Town Car, or an MGE clown car, if you will. We have to take advantage of this. Sir! Tyler Staley, KUSA 99, would you mind answering a few questions for us regarding the disappearances of half the planet's population, the rise in positive graffiti, and the unethical use of banana spider venom on the local population? The local population? I don't understand. Can you please just... I hate you. Judas Priest, enough! Fine. Point taken. Come on, Bill. Hop on, Princess. We're getting out of here. You ass butts can't go on ignoring the public forever. We're gonna get an exclusive with you, one way or another. Let's blow this racket stand, Bill.
Oh, good job, boy. Now come on back to the studio for a treat. I think there's a banana in the fridge. And now, because I'm simply not ready to do any more talking due to my overzealous reaction to the recent events in Tri-County's politics, and because station management has requested I keep my yap shut and calm down if I know what's good for me, let's go to our man on the street, Rick Beckley.
You do know this is radio, right? No one can see those.
Okay, Rick, I need you to pull through for me today, okay?
When don't I?
I really don't have time to name them all. I just really need you to nail the story as quickly as professionally possible, okay?
Are you saying I'm not professional and that my groundbreaking stories are too long for you?
Look, I just need to wrap this up so I can relax and watch my fluid intake like the doctor said. These headaches are no joke, okay? Can you do that for me?
I'm sorry, what?
I'm going to dance on your grave one day.
Okay, are you ready?
I'm always ready. You're the one that usually needs a minute.
I'm going to need more time than that to accept my IF stone medal after the story hits the airwaves. It is waves, right? Even though it's not on TV?
Yes, it's still waves.
Outstanding. We're about to take the Zoidberg down.
Wait, who?
Zoidberg? Sarah, Matt Zoidberg, the founder of Facebook?
Oh, my migraine is coming back. It's not Matt Zoidberg, it's Mark Zuckerberg.
I've heard it both ways.
No, you really haven't.
Rick Beckley here with the eerie news that Facebook has banned all unoriginal statuses and comments. Wait, are you sure this is happening?
Yes, it's happening. If it's not original, it gets deleted the second you push the post button.
Wow. I was just on Facebook not that long ago. You'd think there'd be more of an outcry since nobody has an opinion of their own.
I'm sure there has been. The only problem is, once the first person stated their displeasure at the idea, nobody else could. All other posts would have been deleted.
Really? So I can't even share something I like?
Nope. Once someone claims it, it's theirs alone.
Well, there you have it, folks. If you don't have an original thought in your head, then nobody will ever know who you are. Natural selection at its finest.
That's not...
Sarah, please, go rest, go drink, go take care of yourself. I've got to go collect as many non-used gifts as I possibly can. This is why I've always been a MySpace fan, and they called me crazy. Who's crazy now? This has been Rick Beckley, KUSA 9 News at 9, saving the world, one original story at a time. Back to the studio.
Let's see what's in Venice's bag.
Troubled tetrapod. I agree. It's unreasonable for her to make you choose between in or out. If you can do both, then you should. And if she doesn't accept that, then perhaps you can find someone who will. Wrathful kitten. Anja says, meow, 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 meow. Prr, prr, meow, meow, meow. Unarmed spam. So your email bounced because they claimed the server labeled it haram? I didn't think they had email in the harem. What kind of IT department do you work for? That's all for now. Back to you, Beatrice.
I wonder if he knows that story wouldn't have made it through Facebook's filters.
How do you mean?
Because we've already reported on that. It's a repost, Jake.
Ah. Right. No, I knew that.
Like talking to a wall. Now, to wrap up our story on Facebook's decision to lock down the unfunny, unoriginal, and the trite in order to preserve the few resources they claim they have left. The response has been almost immediate in its absence.
We can only imagine the voluminous vitriol that must be rumbling through the heads of bored housewives, angst-ridden teens, and easily offended whiners the world round. I checked my own feed during Rick Beckley's segment and was elated to discover that it was completely meme-free. Not A1. No falsely attributed quotes, no out-of-context tropes, no erroneous statistics to back up poorly positioned arguments. It was all so peaceful.
Not everyone is as happy as you are, though, Jake. Sporadic posts creatively written to sidestep the originality algorithm were seen populating a number of, well, let's just say special interest groups, encouraging followers to head over to Twitter and Meetup so the offended can discuss their outrage about the new Facebook policy everyone seems to believe was specifically designed to outrage, well, everyone.
Various groups are claiming they're being specifically targeted by this blanket policy, and their conventional reaction has been to voice that perceived injustice in exactly the same way. It's just so poetic, wouldn't you say? One has to believe it won't be long before those calls fall into a permanent, silent, digital slumber. Just like all those stupid cat memes we'd no longer have to tolerate. This broadcast was brought to you by Mike's Bikes and Adult Toy Superstore. Are you unhappy with how pathetically out of shape you are? Tired of coming up with excuse after excuse why you're not getting the aerobic exercise you need? Maybe not able to love you long as long a time as you'd like? Well, combat that ever-expanding waistline and those thunder thighs today. Mike has a wide array of riding gear to fit whatever need you may have. From the Uberschwinn 2000 to his infamous Rack and Sack, Mike has all the gear for your rear you'll ever need. Stop in at any of Mike's 69 locations around the Tri-Counties to sample his equipment. Remember, at Mike's Bikes and Adult Toy Superstore, We'll always give you the ride of your life.
We really have to reconsider the job security of the person running our marketing department after that advertisement. Anyways, secularism and sensibility be damned. That's the early message coming from the campaign trail as candidate after candidate has slowly begun revealing their election platform. In what was once a stable environment, the rapture has thrown the political landscape into upheaval, unrivaled by any previous political upheavals, with the candidates taking to any public platform they can to espouse their belief in God, guns, and gargantuan tax breaks for the wealthy, even though not a single one of them has been identified yet.
Things are heating up quickly, as this growing throng of aspiring politicians elbow their way into the field to earn your front-of-mind awareness. One after another, these election hopefuls are starting to fill our airwaves with scorn, contempt, and cruelty the likes of which hasn't been seen since the last time someone criticized NASCAR while visiting relatives in Alabama.
And religion is center stage, as one might expect following a cataclysmic event like the one we have experienced. When humankind is scared and ignorant, we usually turn to some unseen sky wizard for answers, and if nothing else, hope. All indications are these politicians smell blood in the water and are ensuring their platform is full of God, as churches are filled with hypocrites.
Well, that was uncalled for, Beatrice. You shouldn't mock anyone's sky wizard. I, for one, look forward to a year filled with political embellishment, exaggeration, and question dodging. After all, it is the only effective means proven to select the best candidate to control our lives. And what better note to end this broadcast on? Anticipating an exciting election cycle, the unknowns, the upsets, the potential in an unanticipated visionary, to right the wrongs of yesteryear, the hope swelling in our loins at the prospects of a better world tomorrow, for you, for your children, for all of us. That's what this means to me, and dear listener, I know, to you as well. So as we drift off into the promised land of political rhetoric, remember, stay calm, and calm we shall stay.
Time to check my Facebook. Facebook, gotta check my Facebook.
The Atheist Apocalypse podcast is a pulsating production. You can find more information and links to support the show's Patreon page at www.atheistapocalypse.com. Today's episode was written and edited by Paul Sading, Brian Bristol, Jeff Venutzis, Jay Crawford, Deborah McTaggart, Stephen Bateman, and Dan Kokola. It was produced by Brian Bristol. Music and sounds were created and produced by Jason Camo of A Lost State of Mind, which you can find at aloststateofmind.com. All artwork you can enjoy on our YouTube channel was created by Lucy D. All studio logos were created by Greenlight Creative Design and Communication Studio. You can find more information at greenlightstudio.co. The voice of Jake was Dan Kokola. The voice of Beatrice was Deborah McTaggart. The voice of Max and Andy is Brian Bristol. The voice of Rick and Sarah are Jay and Jen Crawford. The voice of Fabrice is Joseph Schomburg. The voice of Tyler is Jeff Venutzis. The voice of Venice is Donna Shell. The voice of Edwin Bondshift is Stephen Bateman. Be sure to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Atheist Apocalypse Podcast and follow us on Twitter at AA Podcast Show. We would like to thank each and every one of you who supports the show to keep it alive and well, which is more than we could say about this post-apocalyptic world we've created for you.
Now maybe life without a Facebook wouldn't end up being all that bad.
This is Jake from KUSA 9 News at 9, and this episode is sponsored by Bad Bunny, providing custom clothes, lingerie, and accessories for badasses. Each item is artist-made start to finish, from the design of the fabric or pattern, to the handmade creation of designs like the dinosaur bone undies, unicorn pasties, teeth print dresses, and a ton more. Bad Bunny is here to fulfill your need for unique, spooky, creepy, sexy, and nerdy handmade fashion. The Bad Bunny herself offered up 5% for you survivors. Just enter the coupon code UNCHOSEN at checkout. Find her shop at etsy.com/shop/badbunnyshop. On Facebook at facebook.com/badbunnyart, and on Instagram at badbunnyshop.